What is up, all my salty home gymmers? Thank you for joining us, and today we're going to be talking about the Titan Fitness Sissy Squat. And we're going to answer the big question, is it for sissies? Wait, no, that's not right. Let me find it. Is this a quality product worth owning and worth the price that you're being charged for it? So the thing I've found about Titan is Titan has these great quality machines, great racks, great plates, great bars, and some really great machines and just things I would really put in that upper tier. And they just kind of have these side products that aren't quite the gauge steel that their other products are, and they just feel like not as much love was put into them. And they're just kind of there. And to be honest, this kind of might be one of them.
You guys all think you're so much better than me.
Oh, Meg, that is the least fancy thing I have ever heard.
I always like to get the boring stuff out of the way, so we're going to start this video with the dimension, which is 44.5 by 17.5 inches. And the next thing we're going to talk about is the functions of this machine. That's it. I'm just going to start by saying this machine it's okay. So it does have a cool design. I do appreciate the detail and the stitching that Titan puts into the products. I do appreciate the powder coating that Titan puts on the outside of the products. Visually, this is a great machine. And honestly, functionally, it does what it's supposed to do. I'm able to do my exercise properly, and I'm able to isolate the muscles that I want to isolate on this machine, and this machine does that for me. So that, I do appreciate. But I have to talk about a few things, because if I don't, I'm going to explode. Okay, I'm not going to explode, but I am going to talk about a few things. And if you've seen any of my other videos, you know that if I pay top dollar for a machine, the first thing that I'm going to knock you on, if you give it to me, is foam pads. To me, these could have been wrapped. I'm paying $240 for a machine. These pads tend to kind of dry rot and tend to kind of rub. Over time, they don't really hold up as well as the ones that are wrapped in leather, pleather, or fake leather, or whatever you want to wrap them in. Secondly, speaking of pleather, I'm no materials expert. It doesn't seem to be a fabric that's going to hold up majorly over time. And also, this top piece here kind of has a gap to where you can tell these two pieces of foam meet right here, and there's just kind of an area that's not as padded right here due to there being space in between the foam. And over time, that kind of wears down in the middle, especially when you have a plate in the center that's pushing upward every time you do a sissy squat. The other thing that I'm going to talk about is this plate. This plate doesn't have a whole lot of support underneath of it. And it does seem like it's pretty sturdy for the meantime. With heavier people and a lot of people liking to use plates when they do sissy squats and stuff and add extra weight to their body, I can't say that this plate isn't going to bend over time. There's not much support under here. Your welds aren't anything to write home about here. You got the big four corners welded in, and you got these little cross members too welded on. But honestly, what this machine really lacks on is the lack of support from underneath. Your posts are also plastic on the outside. Nothing really wrong with that. I don't see this developing a wobble or anything over time. It seems to be pretty sound everywhere else other than the parts I just mentioned. I probably wouldn't test this out in a commercial environment. I don't think you're going to get a lot of life out of it. It's definitely meant for a home gym. I'm in Myrtle Beach at Carolina Fitness, and look what I found. So we've spotted one of these in the wild. I asked the person at the front desk how long this machine has been back here. He said it had been back there about 2 years. So much to my surprise, I was incorrect, because as you can see, this machine's still kicking, and it's forcing me to admit that I was wrong. However, I was correct about certain things of this machine. As you can see, the fabric around the outside is a little bit looser. It's starting to wear out a little bit, and it's starting to come apart at the seams. Just a little bit on that side. Some slight discoloration in the lettering, but that happens to all machines with white fabric on them as people get on them and they sweat. As I said, it hasn't broken, but you can definitely see that it's starting to bow along the top because there's no support underneath of it, which is honestly my biggest gripe about this machine. Problem is, you have half a dozen brands selling what Titan is selling here for a lot cheaper price. This isn't a bad machine at all. In fact, I'd say if you find this on the marketplace or something for a good price, you should probably take it. But my reviews are based off value of the machine and the price that a company is selling it for. $240 is a lot to ask for this piece of equipment, in my opinion. Take this one that PowerTech is selling. For a few dollars more, you can have wrapped foam pads, support underneath your plate, and in general, I haven't used it, but it looks like a better quality machine. To be honest with you, there's off-brand selling sissy squats with support underneath them for less than half the price of this is. So I have to ask Titan, what's the appeal for this one that I should spend $240 for it? And don't get me wrong, this isn't an attack on Titan. They have great machines. They have quality machines. They just have some products that just seem to be a little bit ignored and a little bit overzealous with the price when they are ignored. So my final star review of this is, for the price, I can't really justify giving it 4 stars. I'm gonna say it's probably gonna be about, I don't know, 3.7 stars. That's my rating system. I can rate it whatever I want. There are other Titan products in my gym that I really like using and we'll be reviewing soon. Thank you for joining me, and please subscribe.